Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. This is Esther at Stampin Star Creations with a Christmas Stampathon 2022. The challenges are set over on our Facebook group, so go and check them out. This month's theme is to make a card with a movable part. So I'm using a Peaceful Deer for this card, and I've already gone ahead and cut out Blessings and Home, which is 3 inches by 5 5/8, and Bloom Where You're Planted, which is 7/8 by 5 5/8, or 2.3 centimetres by 14.3, and the other one is 7.5 by 14.3 centimetres. So we're going to work on this piece of wood grain. And grabbing in my largest tree from the stamp set, I'm going to do third generation stamping and get this lovely shaded look with Evening Evergreen. I've doubled up on the block and I've got the trees on the other side, as you can see. So using those triple trees. Then this might seem a bit random, but I am stamping the snowflakes in the same colour. I think it looks nice. Goes with the design. Just go with me on this one. And then in the same set, using this sentiment, sending love and peace this season. So then I'm bringing in my lovely mini cut and emboss and the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and this die fits perfectly around this sentiment. And in the month of March and the year 2022, there is going to be a special offer on the mini cut and emboss, not only on the machines but also on dies that go with it. So look out for that deal on in my shop, stampinstarcreations.co.uk. Using cinnamon cider for our deers. Now the challenge asks to make 4 of a kind of the card that you're making. So while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the rest of my deer. And then this was really handy to stamp these sitting down deer across a strip of paper. So you can just, go ahead and stamp that. So I've left this in case you wanted to see how I colour in the deer, using the matching colour, which is cinnamon cider, and this gives a lovely kind of no line look to your colouring. So coming in with the dark and then using the light, and leaving some white patches on my deer, trying to remember where to leave the white. So tip of the nose, the tail, underneath the belly, and just a bit around the hooves, trying to leave that a bit white for a more realistic look. And then for the dancing deer or the prancing deer, again, just going lightly in with the dark, trying to figure out which bit's what and where I'm supposed to be colouring and where not. And then coming in with a lighter colour, again, leaving the nose a little bit white, under the belly and around the part of the legs. I think the inside of the legs are white as well, and the tail. So hopefully this gives you an idea of where to colour your deer to go for a realistic type of a look. There we go. Now the great thing about the set is it comes with a matching punch to cut out this prancing deer. So just line it up, turn your punch over so you can see what you're doing, and then you can just pop it out. So that's one of them. And then the smaller one doesn't come with a punch, so it just requires a little bit of fussy cutting. Keeping your scissors nice and straight, and turn that paper, and it just helps you to guide along the shape and to cut it out. There's our deer already. And then for the next bit, we're going to work on the insert of the card. So the insert is 5.5 inches by 7 7/8, and it's creased in the middle, and then it's 14 centimetres by 20 centimetres, and then I'm taking the corner, having the fold to the centre of me and the opening to the left, and then I'm just folding it up and using this as a parallel guide to the top. No measuring, no scoring, just going for it. And this design came from Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Now I know it's just a simple basic pop-up fold, but it just makes your life easier when you're not having to measure. You just literally crease it. Then you want to encourage the card to just pop in that centre bit, and hopefully the rest will follow. Just keep bending and creasing the creases and the scores where you've bent it, and hopefully you'll get something like this. Like, you want a nice beaky look. So tuck that fold inside, give it a crease. Now, I don't think I've done many, if at all. Probably the second time I've done pop-up cards. I'm not a big pop-up card person, I just don't do them. And this is so simple and so easy. And thanks to Lynn's tuition for this. I know it's quite basic, but sometimes when somebody shows you, it just makes life easier. So she got her image, which was one of the cars actually from hers, but I'm using the deer, and just crease it where you want that fold to go. Then you get another matching piece, thankfully, because I'm using the punch, I don't have to cut anything out. We want the reverse to go on the other side. This just neatens up the project, it strengthens it, and it hides any colouring that you've done. So I've put it behind and creased it in the same direction, and then just putting a bit of glue on the bottom half of my image to apply it to the card. Now don't worry if your image overlaps the creases, just bend those pieces as well. I did try and avoid it in this particular card and tried to make sure the hoofs were not going to touch anywhere else. Give you a chance for the glue to dry and adhere. And like I did, I was in a hurry and I stuck it down and it was coming off. Turn your card over and then you can just apply glue all over that second deer, which is going to go back to back. Make sure you're gluing the right piece and just popping that on. There we go, and hopefully that will crease along with it. Just make sure it's aligned up. Give it another good old crease with the bone folder. Make sure it's stuck down. That's the great thing about the Tombow glue. There we go, and we've got that lovely pop-up deer that's for the centre of our card. So going ahead and sticking down the front pieces. Whoops! I was like, something doesn't look right. It was upside down. I like the leaves going in an upwards direction. I don't think anyone would have noticed, but I did. And then I'm leaving just a tiny bit of a gap between those two papers, and you've got a nice border around the edge as well. So sticking on the deer on the front and just bringing it down to meet the bottom of the card. Everything on the front is going flat. With my first one I did put a dimensional, but it made it too bulky. So just coming in with my blending brush and just adding a touch of ink around the edge to make that show up, and then just adhering that down. Then again with my previous card I used some bigger embellishments and they just looked a bit too big for my liking. So these pearls were perfect if it would cooperate, and I'm just sticking one on either side of my sentiment. So just an added touch of embellishment without overwhelming the card too much. There we go, and we're just going to now stick the inside piece. So do this one at a time. I like to stick down the base first and just bring it a little away from the crease because you want to give that room to be able to move, and you should have a nice little border around the edge also. Then glue the top half, slam the front of the card down on it and just hold it for a few seconds until it adheres, and then ta-da, adheres. Get it? Sorry, I just got to I said that and then I'm making my own jokes. Okay, moving on swiftly. There you go, nice and easy pop-up card, really simple, but hopefully you'll find it really effective, and it's a nice little surprise for whoever's going to receive the card. I did think about maybe turning it into Rudolph, but I thought no, it's a very sophisticated card. So if you want to know more about the challenges, please do head over to our Facebook page. Don't forget, if you're not subscribing already, hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share the video. Take care.